इस बीच एबीपी नेटवर्क का आइडियाज ऑफ इंडिया मंच सजा हुआ है, दिग्गज पहुंच रहे हैं और ब्रिटेन की पूर्व प्रधानमंत्री लिज ट्रस का ये संबोधन।
But that economic clout does need to be backed by hard security, because what we saw in the Russia-Ukraine situation is even a country which was not apparently very economically successful has been able to create huge misery and attack a free democratic neighbour in Europe. And what we know is no one is immune from that around the world. No free democracy is automatically safe. We need to make sure it's safe. And what that is going to take is much more close working on security. And of course, India is a vital security partner for the United Kingdom, but also for our allies around the world. The last time I visited Mumbai was at the end of 2021. And I went out to the Queen Elizabeth aircraft carrier and watched the F-35s take off from the carrier, which is a fantastic sight. And in fact, the F-35s are based in my constituency in Norfolk, in England. So I actually met some local pilots from Norfolk in the middle of the Indian Ocean. It was a great experience. But what was particularly good was to see that we were conducting joint military exercises with the Indian Armed Forces. And that is what we need to be doing more of. We need closer collaboration in areas like intelligence, in defense, and in defense production, because what we know as a result of the war in Ukraine is that we need to build up our stockpiles, we need to be manufacturing more. And of course, India is in an ideal position to be doing more of that manufacturing of defense equipment. So we have a real opportunity for that closer collaboration. I also believe that India has a very important role to play in the Indo-Pacific Quad. People kept asking me whether the UK wanted to join the Indo-Pacific Quad. I said I didn't think we were yet ready to move to the Pacific. But I fully support the grouping of the United States, Japan, Australia, and India. I think that is going to be vitally important for protecting freedom of navigation in the Pacific, and I would like to see that develop into a more formal alliance so that we make sure democracy is protected. Because what we've learned from the war in Ukraine is that if an authoritarian regime feels that there isn't going to be a reaction, then they will act. And we know that President Xi has said that he wants to create one China, that he wants to see Taiwan under Chinese control. I think that would be disastrous. I think that would have implications not just for Taiwan, another free democracy that we simply do not want to see extinguished, but would also have real implications for the ability for freedom of navigation, for trade, and for security in the Indo-Pacific area. Of course, we need to develop our links with Taiwan economically. That's something that we're doing in the United Kingdom, and we want to see allies do that as well. But we also need to make sure that Taiwan's able to defend itself, because prevention is better than cure. And stepping up our economic efforts to coordinate is going to be very important at this stage before it's too late. And one of my main messages to people here today is we learnt the hard way what not preparing looks like with the war in Ukraine. Of course, Putin is responsible for that war. He's the perpetrator. But we all know in Western Europe that we should have done more earlier. Let's learn that lesson for Taiwan. Let's make sure that Taiwan's able to defend itself. And let's make sure that we've built up that economic resilience so that China cannot use economic coercion to achieve the objectives that they either achieve militarily or by that coercion.
जैसे ही घड़ी का काटा दोपहर 2:30 पे आए, बबीता जी का दिल सास बहू साजिश के लिए मचल जाए। और ये है इनकी बहू, पूरे दिन ऑफिस की टेंशन हो जाए गॉन जब ये करें अपना फेवरेट शो फ्री टाइम पे ऑन। इनकी तरह आप भी देखें अपना फेवरेट शो अपने टाइम पर और डाउनलोड कीजिए ABP लाइव ऐप अपने स्मार्ट टीवी पर।
ABP न्यूज आपको रखे आगे।